texts become dark. They're not necessarily written that way, but the way they're used by subsequent generations can be a bit tricky. Or funny, depending on how you're looking at it. For my money, this piece I'm doing, which is from medieval philosophy, is both one of the funniest pieces ever written, but also one of the darkest. It will speak for itself when I'm starting it. But just before I start, by word of how I'm doing it, medieval philosophy is often written in two voices. You have the master whose answer is to answer the arguments, and you have the bachelors of art whose job it is to assemble the arguments. So I've done this in two voices. I've done one of them as the master, Thomas Aquinas, and the other one of his modern acolytes, a politician. Article! How do you know when a war is truly just? Oh, please tell me. Well, first, have you assembled the list of objectors? Yes, I found there were 4 main types of objection to war. The first were those people who are so irritating, they'll tell you, war is killing, killing is murder, murder is a sin, so war is wrong. Fools. And then there are those people, usually unfriendly powers, who will say, now is not the moment, let's give sanctions a chance. While they lie and then feather their nests, no doubt. And then there are those innocents, who, because you're so good at government, will say, we don't want war, we're at peace, why would we want war now? And finally, there are those inveterate peaceniks, who will get worried about society becoming militarized. Those were the main list of objections. Can you answer them? I can. More than that, I can tell you how to know whether a war is just. First, you will know whether war is just if it is defensive. Let us have no aggressive wars. What? Defensive? Okay, suppose you've got an enemy who's got really powerful weapons they can use in 2 hours. 2 hours seems like, all right. I'll write another dossier. 45 minutes. And they're really, really powerful, and they could wipe you out. Would that be justified? I would think so. As long as you believe he has the weapons. Oh, I believe them, yeah, I believe it, yes. All right, we may proceed. 2, you all know a war is just if it has the true authority. Let us have no robber barons here. All war must be waged by the legally constituted authority that has the right to do it. But how do you know who the legal constituted authority is? I mean, is it the UN? Oh, no, I wouldn't. It is, of course, the people who God or man have appointed. They must look into their conscience. And if their conscience is clear, and the war is just, then it is just. What? Well, my conscience is quite clear. 3rd, all wars must be not for profit. Let us have no adventurers here. But suppose you wage a war, and you get great profit by it. Does that count? As long as you waged it for sound reasons and you weren't thinking about the profit as you did it. Well, that would be justified, indeed. I think it might be a sign of God's special favour. Yes, yes. And now I shall answer your objections. To those who say all killing is murder, and therefore war is wrong, I tell them they've mistaken. They've mistaken the things a state can do from what an individual could do. If I kill you, that is murder, and reprehensible. I deserve to be executed. But if a state calls me to do it, it's a different thing. Secondly, to those who say, now is not the time for war, I ask them straight. When is the right time for war? How can you have the right time for war? War in the end is about judgment. And to those who say, we're at peace, I say there are many evil peaces in this world. There is the peace of Mammon, the peace of Beelzebub. These are clear abominations and must be destroyed. Oh, I know that one. If you want peace, prepare for war. And of course, to those inveterate peaceniks, we're just going to tell them to get real. I like that because it was one of the major reasons we went in Iraq, because Tony Blair could go down the checklist. Or at least that was the story I always heard. I've only got 2 more pieces. The first is going to take us